One of the things that I've always loved about Gems on Vogue is not just the gemstones, but it's about that whole other side of what we are really great at, and we still are great at, and that's the artistry. And when you think of art, a lot of people think of paintings. Well, we did some of the most unique jewelry where we actually physically painted it. And I met this great group of artists out of Moscow, Russia, and they were painting, and they still do paint, shells. Now, mostly what they use is the Tahitian shell. So they harvest a shell, and then they cut it, and then they completely hand paint it. And these artists are absolutely incredible in their artistry and the way they use their techniques. And every single item that I'm about to show you in this segment is completely a one-of-a-kind piece of artwork that we commissioned these artists out of Moscow to do, and they did a great job. And I'm going to separate them into various themes. Well, as you know, Gems on Vogue is very Parisian inspired, hence the name, very French sounding. And one thing that I love to do was to represent beautiful Paris. And of course, when one thinks of Paris, one has to think of the beautiful Eiffel Tower. And this is like a collage of the greatest scenes of Paris, of course, with the wonderful Montmartre that you see there, and the wonderful Eiffel Tower, and this is the Arc de Triomphe, this is Le Moulin Rouge, and this, of course, that is the stained glass of beautiful Notre Dame. This is a 50mm hand-painted shell. The paints that they use are acrylic paints, and then this is completely multi-lacquered with many layers of lacquer. We were the only people on TV home shopping in the history of the United States to ever offer a product like this. This is item PE 106169-2, and it's being offered at an amazing sale price of only $166. These are all pendants. They're sterling silver platinum alloy, 18-karat gold accents, and the chain goes all the way from 20-inch or all the way down, of course, to 18 inches. So it's comfortable for you to own and to wear. I think these make a great gift item. Well, the second item in the theme of beautiful Paris is the wonderful stained glass of Notre Dame. If you ever get a chance to visit Notre Dame, as soon as you enter this cathedral, this is almost 1,000 years old, up above the altar, you will see the most magnificent stained glass window in all of Christendom. It's unbelievably beautiful. And this is, I took photographs of it, and then I had the artists reproduce it. Can you imagine that this stained glass was done by hand hundreds and hundreds of years ago? This is a beautiful 50mm shell. Once again, it's item number PE 106169. Same item number as the previous one, but there's no -2 because we did two versions of it. This, of course, has all been hand painted, and it's being offered still at only $166. An absolute work of art. And if you've ever gone to Paris or you ever hope to see Notre Dame as soon as they rebuild it, that is a souvenir that you will treasure forever. Well, in celebration of the holidays, of course, we also did beautiful paintings that were reminiscent of, you know, the kind of holidays that we always remembered when we were kids and all this. So I remember we got a lot of this inspiration from old postcards and all this dating back to the 20s and the 30s. And this one, of course, is the angel with the trumpet. I actually remember having a Christmas charm on my, or Christmas ornament, I should say, on my Christmas tree when I was a child. Very similar to this. This has all been completely hand painted. It is, once again, a 50mm shell. This one's offered only $148. By the way, we do not have a lot of these left in stock. These are not being continued once they are sold out. This is item VSPO 30557. ANG for the angel, and she's absolutely beautiful. And once again, this is completely hand painted. This is not stenciled, it's all hand painted, and that shininess that you're seeing here is a lacquer, so they put a lot of lacquer on top of it to protect the painting. You can safely wear this all the time. It's not a problem whatsoever. Well, in keeping with the theme of the holidays, I've always loved this one because it is literally a holiday scene, a winter scene. You know, the kind of winter scenes that you kind of remember when you were a child. It's PE 103017 is the item number. It's only $150. Now this is an elongated shell. It's the first of a series of elongated shells. This is 40 by 30 millimeter. And as you can see here, we have a Christmas scene, you know, the wonderful trees. And I remember even as a child, some people were lucky enough to have an evergreen in their backyard. They would decorate it and put some sort of like fake presents underneath, and so the kids could look at it all the time with candy cane. And that's exactly what this is about. This is beautiful. We do not have a lot of these. Matter of fact, I have less than 4 of these left in inventory, and these are practically one of a kind, so when they're gone, they are gone. But I also have another wonderful Christmas scene to share with you. This is my personal favorite for the holiday themed. The level of workmanship that is evident in this piece is absolutely incredible. There's a little girl, and she's an angel, and she's just, you know, decorating the tree. There's the wonderful goose. Look at all the beautiful candles. It's absolutely outstanding. The quality of the acrylic paints used here by the artists were really quite outstanding, because to get, you know how in the holidays you have the shimmering cold night, you always get that in the winter, and they use this very sort of shine high level acrylic paints for here, and they use a little bit more matted paints there. The level of workmanship and artistry in this is literally amazing. Item number PE 103017 ANG for Angel. Absolutely gorgeous, being offered at $150. Again, I have, I think, 4 of those in stock for the whole country, and that's not coming back. So that's a beautiful piece of artwork that you can own and enjoy for the rest of your life. I've always been a fan of Art Nouveau, as you know, which is still forms a big basis of my collection design-wise. And what we did with this particular piece is that during the Art Nouveau period, briefly, is that the, just to tell everyone, the peacock was a very, very famous symbol. And you know, the Art Nouveau period, of course, began in France. So this is on beautiful black onyx. This is a gorgeous peacock that's been completely hand-painted, so again, by the same artist that did the other shells that I've been showing you during this segment, and it's been lacquered many, many times. Lots of great, great detail on that. This one is actually strung on a beaded permanent necklace of beautiful black onyx. So this entire piece with the necklace does have a chain at the end that makes it a little bit more customizable as far as length is concerned. It's item number NE104603. And these are 8mm beads of black onyx, and that black onyx is 40 by 30 millimeter, and it's being offered at $177. This was extremely popular when I had it on television, and of these, just so I can tell you how many of those we have in stock, I believe in that, we only have 2 for the country. This is a very popular item, so it's almost sold out, and I'm offering it to you at an absolutely incredible price. The last item of my show is the most flamboyant item, quite frankly, and this is another celebration of Art Nouveau. Now, during the Art Nouveau period, let me just straighten that out for you a little bit. During the Art Nouveau period, it was artists like Klimt, and they were the ones that really were the pioneers of Art Nouveau. So this one is a celebration of coral, as you can see here, and it is strung on a permanent necklace of coral. And this is a very large item. So for you gals that really want a statement piece, this is the item for you. The shell itself is 66 millimeters, which is really just a fancy way of saying 4 inches by 2.5 inches. It's completely hand painted. It has beautiful coral. The coral is 6mm beads, which are strung for the necklace and on the tassel, and it does have a 2-inch extender. So this one can be with 1/8 inch increments, I want to add, so it can fit exactly where you need it to fit. This is a great item to be worn on top of clothing. This was a big, big seller. Of these I have, and I want to check the quantity here, 6 for the country, and that's it. It is item number NE104845. I'm bringing this down to $229, which is hundreds of dollars less than when I had it on its shop. This is a fantastic piece. Again, when this is sold out, it is discontinued. Now, where do you find all these wonderful hand-painted shells? Because this is just a small portion of what I have. You want to go to www.gemsonvogue.com. Under that, you could put painted shells or just painted, and all my beautiful jewelry is going to come featuring painted shells. We did bracelets, we did earrings, we even did some rings on the metal itself that was completely hand painted. These are all available at amazing prices. Remember, 3-year warranty, no shipping and handling, and if you need a payment plan, it's right there on your screen, because you just type in that word Sezzle, or you can click on that button and you can make 4 easy installment payments, all offered at no interest whatsoever. Thanks for joining me, and go to www.gemsonvogue.com and shop our entire collection of custom hand-painted jewelry.